Hello, my name is Daniel Dobrowolski, and I'm a senior physicist at Cotraco Ultrasonics. As the lead developer of the Portascanner COVID-19, in this video, I will be guiding you through how to do a full test using the instrument. The Portascanner COVID-19 comes in two main parts. The receiver unit is a 7-inch handheld touchscreen device attached via BNC cable to the sensor wand. It is used to receive and analyze ultrasound and to generate data and reports. The Portascanner COVID-19 generator provides a stable ultrasonic source for the receiver to pick up. Its power is adjustable from 1 to 100% of the maximum output. An optional stand is available also to aid with generator placement. First of all, ensure both the generator and receiver units are fully charged using a micro B USB power source. Connect the sensor wand to the receiver unit, press the power button, and wait for it to boot. To conduct a full test, press the Full Test button. You will then be instructed to select or add a new site, room, and structure. A site may be, for example, the name of a hospital or building. A room should refer to the name of the enclosed space being assessed, which may be, for example, a room, a tent, or an isolator. And a structure may reference, for example, a door, a window, or a section of wall that is being assessed for leaks. For a full test, you will need to know the thickness of any structures being assessed and the total surface area and volume of the room. Once a structure has been selected, you must turn on the generator and place it facing the center of the structure, at least 50 centimeters away from it, if possible. If the structure is openable, open it and trace the perimeter with the receiver wand facing the generator to ensure a suitable signal is picked up across the whole structure. The zone indicator on the screen will guide you. If the structure is unopenable, position the wand as shown on the same side as the generator, with the rear of the wand touching the structure, and perform the aforementioned procedure. You may be instructed by the receiver screen to adjust the generator position or to increase or decrease the power if required. Now, close the structure if it was opened and stand with the receiver unit on the opposite side to the generator. You will be instructed to take a photograph of the structure upon which to record the leaks. Scan the structure, listening for bleeps with the headphones or looking for spikes in the signal indicator. These spikes and bleeps indicate the presence of a leak. Mark any detected leaks by tapping on the image present on the receiver touchscreen. Once all leaks are marked, measure the open air value, or OAV, for each leak by pressing the OAV button. For an openable structure, open it and position the wand in approximately the same position as the detected leak, as shown in the instructions dialog. Take the measurement by pressing Measure OAV and repeat for each leak by pressing Done. Navigating with the arrow buttons and pressing the OAV button once more. For an unopenable structure, move to the same side of the structure as the generator. Position the generator one wand length further back from the structure and position the receiver in front of each leak as shown. Take the measurement and repeat for each leak. Don't forget to move the generator forward again once all OAVs have been taken. Finally, Go back to the other side of the structure and take a final measurement of each leak by pressing the Measure button. Position the receiver wand carefully, aligning it with each leak to maximize the signal received. Then, take the measurement and the instrument will automatically quantify the leak size and its airflow rate for a pressure differential adjustable in the settings. Once all leaks have been quantified, press Save to the device, and press the Home button to return to the home screen. Records may be viewed in the Full Test Records screen, where they may be exported as a CSV file or as a PDF report containing photographs. Thank you for watching this video. Coltraco Ultrasonics have proudly designed the Portascanner COVID-19 utilizing our rich heritage in naval ultrasonic technologies and monitoring water tightness in warships and submarines. Supported by Innovate UK and the National Physical Laboratory, the Portascanner COVID-19 is the world's first ultrasonic airflow locator and quantifier, ideal for usage in hospitals, cleanrooms, and more. For more information, visit our website at www.coltraco.com.